Hello.
Hello.
Hi everyone.
Hi.
I'm launching Eclipse.
Yeah.
Today we will see exceptions followed by collections.
Okay.
Yeah.
So exceptions. So the thing is, we run programs. So while executing the program, if something abnormal happens, then that can be considered as exception. For example, you have written a program. So your program is opening a file from a location, maybe D drive. Assume in D drive it is your file. Your file name is abc.txt. So you are opening the file through your program, write some contents onto it, then save the file. So this is the thing what happens with your program. So you are running the program. Assume someone, maybe your friends or someone, have deleted this file from that location. Now the file is not available. Unknowingly, you started executing your program then. So your program will keep searching for abc.txt file in that location, and it does not find that. So during that time, what happens is your program continuously keeps searching, and your program may lead into infinite time execution, or sometimes it may lead to crashing the program, or there are chances that it may be, the data also may be lost. So when something abnormality happens, there is a chance that data may be corrupted. So while executing the programs, the abnormalities should be addressed. So like the file in that location may not be found sometimes. So you need to address those things. If such a file does not exist, what to do? So in your program, how does your program handle if the file does not exist in that location? So you need to handle such a scenarios. So that scenarios can be handled by using exception handling mechanism. So exception handling. So exceptions can be handled one by using try-catch block. Try-catch block. Second is without handling, you are just throwing it. So throwing it so that someone would handle. So the thing is without handling, you are going to throw it so that someone would handle that. Suppose if no one is handling, then finally they are thrown to JVM. So JVM has to handle, but JVM does not have an implicit code, so it throws an exception messages onto the console. So this is what happens. So we will look into these two things. So exception handling, let me come out with a few more examples. Exception. For example, you are trying to download a file from web. So all of a sudden the internet connection was disconnected or it went down. Your downloading of the file will not be completed. So during that time, so here the website whatever you are downloading from should display a message. So the data connection is slow and unable to download. So here this displaying of message, that is data connection is slow and unable to download, is handling such exception, that is all of a sudden the data connection was slow and getting slow is an exception. So that is handled by displaying an appropriate message, that is data connection is slow and unable to download the file. So you can try after some time, it has to display some meaningful message. So likewise, if you check another example, assume you have a bank account. So a bank account where you have $1,000 in your account, and you are trying to draw $1,500 at once through ATM. Assume actually you have 1,000, and when you try to overdraw this, then your ATM machine should display a message, that is insufficient funds, unable to complete this transaction. Some meaningful message.
Yeah.
So here, existing account balance is 1,000. You are trying to overdraw 1,500 is leading to an exception over there. During that time, the bank application should intelligently handle such exception by displaying an appropriate message to the user. Of course, this scenario is seen with the bank ATM applications. So such a type of exceptions are known as custom defined exceptions or user defined exceptions, we say. So in Java there are existing exceptions in the Java API, as well as we also can write our own exceptions. I will show you both the things. So existing exceptions as well as custom defined exceptions. So in existing exceptions, if you can see some examples like arithmetic exception. So when something goes wrong while performing an arithmetic operation, particularly division, so if the denominator goes 0 by chance, then it leads to arithmetic exception. Likewise, array index out of bounds exception. So you are having an array of size 10 and trying to access the index 10. It's not possible. You can access the index till 9, right? 0 to 9. So when you try to access more than that 0 or 9, then it will throw an exception, array index out of bounds exception. So those are certain existing exceptions in the API. So one is file not found, I said, file not found exception. Likewise, arithmetic exception. Then, so among these, let me down this arithmetic exception. Then null pointer exception. Then SQL exception. So this SQL exception we will be addressing when we work with the JDBC. So if something goes wrong with establishing a connection, or if something goes wrong in writing a query, this is the exception. So arithmetic exception, null pointer exception, that's it. And here also, that's it. So over there, if you see, there are two types of exceptions. So those two types of exceptions are two types. One is compile time exception. Compile time exceptions are caught exceptions, we say. This caught is a past form of catch. Caught exception. And we have runtime exception.
Right.
And we call them as uncaught exceptions. So uncaught exceptions. So compile time exceptions are seen during compilation time. So our Java programs would go in two phases. One is compilation, the other one is execution. So compile time exceptions are faced at during compilation time. So when you face them, JVM will demand to handle such exception. JVM will force to demand. So JVM will force to demand the programmer. So the programmer programmer to handle the exceptions. Whereas runtime exceptions, they are not handled. So JVM will not force to handle them.
Yeah.
So this is the basic difference between compile time exceptions and runtime exceptions.
Yes.
And whatever the exceptions I have listed, this comes under compile time exception, and this comes under runtime exception.
Yeah.
This one.
Okay.
So whenever there is a chance of exception occurring, so the thing is exception would occur with our Java instructions. So those instructions that may lead to exception are put inside try catch block. So I'm going to write how to try and catch. So here try. So here those instructions that may lead to exception, and here you are going to handle them. To handle them. So your Java program gets executed and it gets into this try block. So if here some exception occurs, assume. During that time, an exception object is created, and that exception object is thrown to catch block. So I write here an exception object is created and is thrown to handle, and we are going to handle here the exception. So here exception object is created. Who is going to create the exception object? Can you guess?
The program.
Programmers.
Yeah.
Suppose programmers would be addressing custom defined exceptions. Suppose if it is an arithmetic exception occurring, arithmetic exception that is a exception that is available in Java API, right?
Right.
Then who is going to create this exception object? And who is going to throw that exception object?
It's the compiler.
Absolutely. So that is for us JVM. So JVM is going to create an exception object and throw. JVM itself is throwing over there. Okay?
Yes.
Okay.
And it throws to this catch blocks. So here there may be multiple catch blocks also. Catch. So multiple catch blocks are also available. They are valid. So maybe this piece of code would be leading to arithmetic exception, then array index out of bounds exception, assume. Then with one catch block you are going to address arithmetic exception. The other catch block would address array index out of bounds exception. Right?
Right.
Right.
So like this you can put multiple catch blocks also. And here finally block we have. So finally block would come somewhere down the line after all your catch blocks if there are multiple catch blocks. So here in finally block you are going to close the resources properly.
Okay.
So the thing is, assume you are working with a file here, file ABC text file. So you open the file, put some content, save the file. Those files should be closed here.
Okay.
All the closing activities goes in the finally block. So closing the resources.
All right.
So your SQL connection. So when you work with a JDBC, so you write a select statement. Select statement will give the result. You are going to handle the select statement using result set. So we have result set object. So you need to close that here. Likewise, you execute the SQL query statement. So statement is also a resource. You need to close here. So we will see them in JDBC. So here this is try catch finally block mechanism. So here there are certain rules. Try block should follow either by catch block or finally block.
Okay.
But try block alone cannot exist.
Okay.
And catch block always would be after the try block and before the finally block.
Yes.
Then if there is a finally block, it would be the last one in the construct. And this finally, if there are catch blocks, multiple catch blocks, then all the catch blocks then followed by finally block. So finally alone cannot exist. Finally should always be with a try. Or if there is try catch, then after the try catch.
Yes.
So those are the rules. And that is very important. So sometimes they may ask you a question on these 4 or 5 rules which I just told.
Okay.
Yes. I am going to write a custom exception. So before custom exception, let me show you the hierarchy. So what is the supermost class present in the Java API in exception handling?
The support.
What is that?
What did you ask?
In exception hierarchy, Java API has some components, classes. So what is the top class present in exception hierarchy?
I have no idea.
No idea. If you think, you will definitely answer it, I believe. Is my question clear?
The main class?
Main class? No. I am talking about exception related classes. Like I told you, whatever the class you write, all the classes are inheriting from java.lang.object, I told you. And object object is a class, and it is the supermost class for all the classes present in the Java API, right?
Right.
Oh, okay.
Likewise, in exception hierarchy, I am talking about particularly exception related classes, exception related components. What is the supermost class over there?
The cat is catch a class or try? No.
Yes.
Try.
No, try. These are not classes, right? They are blocks to handle the exception. They are not classes.
So where is the class?
Exception.
Okay.
Yes.
Exception. Okay, I write here exception. I agree exception. But beyond that also there is something. Above that.
Is it long exception?
What exception?
Exception handle.
No, I am talking about classes.
Oh,
Exception handling is a mechanism.
okay.
Exception, I agree, this is a class.
Okay.
But above that there are few more things. I am expecting that from you. Fine. Let me. Throwable is the supermost class in the Java API in exception hierarchy.
Okay.
Throwable has so exception. So the thing is exception and another runtime exception.
Oh, runtime exception and
Runtime exception
compile time exception.
And
compile
time exceptions. Where do we get?
Yeah.
So the thing is, this runtime exception would come down. So here it would be error, and under exception we have IO exception and runtime exception. So these both are from exception. Exception is the superclass for IO exception as well as runtime exception. Throwable is the superclass for exception and error. Got it?
Okay.
Got it.
So,
Yes.
So let me write like this so that you can understand it easily. So these two things are from throwable, and here these two things.
Okay.
Yes, got it now? This is the hierarchy.
Got it.
Yeah.
So under exception, so we have errors also here. So serious errors like a stack overflow error. So when the error, when the memory is exhausted, out of memory error, right?
Yes.
So I write here out of memory error. So when you keep on continuously creating the objects, the heap memory gets exhausted one fine day. During that time, out of memory error occurs. That is nothing but this one.
Okay.
And this is a serious error. We cannot handle it. Then we have to explicitly clean the memory. Likewise, stack overflow error. Stack overflow error. So what do you mean by stack overflow error? Stack is a data structure, right?
Is what?
Stack. Stack is a data structure. Stack, queue. Haven't you heard of stack?
Yes, I heard of
The normal.
normal. I mean,
Stack is a kind of data structure where you can put elements into it. The first element goes down, second element next occupies, third, fourth, and this. Then, if you want to remove the element, then last element can be removed first, right?
yeah,
Right.
Last in, first out kind of structure it is, right?
yeah,
Oh, okay.
Got it now?
yeah.
Got it.
So here, maybe stack size has 10. I mean to say 10 elements you can put. If you put 11th element, then stack overflow occurs, right? So that is what stack overflow error. So here these are serious errors. They comes under error. Now IO exceptions and their subclasses. So let me write here. I am trying to elaborate this thing. Compile time exceptions, I said, right? So here
Right.
IO exception and its subclasses comes under compile time exception. And here, so IO exception will be having further descendants. And here runtime exception. So runtime exception. So error and runtime exceptions, subclass of runtime exceptions together are known as runtime exceptions. So here I am addressing error plus runtime exception and its subclasses are treated as these exceptions, that is runtime exceptions. Got it?
And what do you mean by its subclasses? What do you
Subclasses like
of what? Yeah.
subclasses of IO exception.
Okay.
Subclasses in the sense parent-child relationship we have, right? So exception is the subclass of probable. So in runtime exception, down the line, subclasses, there may be arithmetic index out of bounds exception, and then null pointer exception. Got it?
Got it.
And IO
Okay.
exception, there may be SQL exception,
Okay.
class not found exception. So IO exception, I mentioned example file not found exception, SQL exception. Likewise,
Okay.
class not found exception.
Okay.
Class not found exception. All these are subclasses of IO exception.
Okay.
You can browse the Java API. There are a whole list of subclasses.
Okay.
Can you do that? Do you know how to browse Java API?
Yes. I have it.
How about the other one? There was no answer from other one. Yes. Who said yes?
Let me see.
Yama,
Yes.
do you know how to browse Java API?
Yes.
Yeah,
You showed us last time.
You want me to show that one time?
No.
You did it before.
Yeah, of course, I did before.
No, we know how.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
I
you
think
can
I
just
can
type
do
Java
it.
API over there, go for all the classes, and you can browse through that exception related hierarchy.
Yes.
Find them. You should be always comfortable with the Java API.
Okay.
So that you can write programs easily. One thing, do remember, always the concept should be clear. Once the concept is clear, then you have to be good at syntax.
Yes.
Syntax plays a major role. So once you are comfortable with the concept and syntax in a subject, then it is easy to do something about that subject. If you
Yes.
take Java, then it becomes easy to write programs. Suppose you are addressing a program, if you don't know the program logic, you can Google it. You can find the solution somewhere. If you refine your search, you will definitely find the solution. Some hint, somewhere, some hint. Not exact solution, but some hint you will get. The thing is, you should be able to understand that hint. Got
Yeah,
it?
exactly.
Yeah.
Got it.
You should learn how to explore. Just put your query, open Google, put your query over there. Browse through various suggestions provided by Google under various links. Study them, understand them. If you are not able to understand them, define your search. Explore and explore.
Yes.
Good. So I am talking about custom exception. So I am writing a custom exception. My custom exception is I am taking age value. Age value. If the age value is negative, assume, then I am going to throw an exception that is negative age exception, because age cannot be negative, right? If
Yes,
it is a
it
positive
can't
value
be.
supplied, then I am going to display the exception, that's it. So this is the thing I am doing in my program. Okay.
Okay.
So here I will be using try-catch block mechanism, as well as throws, as well as there is a third one, a keyword, throw. So throw is a keyword. This is used to throw a newly instantiated exception or already existing exception. So let me put newly instantiated or existing exception, already existing exception. You can throw using throw throw keyword. I'll be using all these things within my example and explain you.
Okay.
So let me write a sample. So custom exception. Demo. With the main method, finish. Just a minute. Let me change the time. It is showing wrong time. If I keep on looking that time, it's 1st of September actually today, and it is 6 it is. Put 7, and it is AM here. Yes, I have a main method. Now, the thing is, so to define a custom exception, so first thing, so step 1, you need to write a class and extend from exception. So I am writing a class. My class name is negative age exception. Yes. So here I define a variable int age, and I am going to write a constructor here to initialize that age. my Eclipse is slow. Okay, negative age exception. Constructor I am writing. And so initialize the age value. So I am passing int age. And whatever the age is being passed, this age equals to age, right? Done. Then step 2. Override toString method to describe your exception object. Right. So toString object. So I give control space and let me choose this. So return a string. So here I am just mentioning the age value is. So I am mentioning the age value over there. So I have done 2 steps. Writing a class, extending it from exception. So I need to extend from exception. Done. So that your class becomes an exception. Then in the main method, I am obtaining the value of age. Int age equals to, from a method get age. So get age. So I don't have a get age method here. So let the IDE Eclipse generate it. Yes. So return maybe 20. So return age value here. So get age is returning a value 20, and I get the 20 here. Now I'm going to check that. If yes, I'm using an if else condition. If this age value is less than 0, assume, it means my exception has to be invoked. I have to throw this exception, negative age exception. So here, if age is negative, then I am going to use throw keyword. So throw negative age exception. So negative age exception with this age value. This age value. Yes. So I am throwing an exception, and observe here, it is showing error. So the thing is, I need to throw an exception object. So throw new negative age exception. So negative age exception is a constructor. So I am creating a negative age exception object here, and observe that it is showing 2 errors. So here the thing is, negative age exception is an exception. I need to handle that exception, and this is particularly a compile time exception. So I need to handle that. Either I can put this in try-catch block. I mean to say this instruction, throw new negative age exception in try-catch block to handle, or add throws declaration with my method. So these are the 2 suggestions given by SDM, that is Eclipse. So I would like to introduce throws keyword also with you. So I go for the first one, add throws declaration. So add this negative age exception. I mean to say, you can see the main method where I am writing the logic is now having throws class with a exception. What exception? Particularly negative age exception. So throws is a class. So let me write here. So throws without handling, you are going to throw it so that someone would handle here. So main method is called by JVM. So JVM is going to display that exception message. And here throws class. So where you are going to use it? Use it with a method declaration. So along with the method you are using, that's what the main method throws class. These two things are you able to follow? So when age value becomes a negative, then I am going to throw this a negative age exception, my custom exception, user defined exception, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Else I am going to display the age value is nothing but this.
Age.
So here this is step 3. So you need to instantiate the custom exception and throw. Yes, let me execute this. I am passing 20 here. So what happens? I get the 20 here. If block does not execute here as 20 is positive, and this goes here and displays this message.
Okay.
Yes, we got the output. So the age value is 20. So let me send a negative value here. So I get that negative value here, and this if block gets executed. So throws new negative age exception. So this exception is thrown, and main method is called by JVM. So it displays the exception related this message. So what is happening? Exception in thread main. The age value is minus 20. The thing is, this message we got from this toString message. So toString method we have overridden, right? So this message, I am instantiating new negative age exception. So an object is being created. So here it is displaying a message. The age value is minus 20, and this is seen somewhere in this package. And if you click this, automatically that statement which is leading to exception gets highlighted.
Okay.
Yes. So those are the things to be followed in addressing custom exceptions or user defined exceptions, we say. So one step, write a class, extend exception. 2, you override your toString method to describe your exception object. 3, maybe somewhere here you need to address throw that exception, and either you can handle it or you can throw. So that's all about exceptions. I'll give another example for that is compile exceptions and runtime exceptions. So yes, Another example, like for example, you're giving your exam. So you are about to give exam at 10 a.m. in the morning. So you'll be getting ready at home. So while at home, you will be putting all your things that are needed in your school bag. So during that time, maybe your mother would be addressing few things like, baby, are you carrying an extra pen? Because if the pen, whatever you are carrying, if ink gets exhausted. So if if single pen you are carrying and ink gets exhausted, then you need to have a spare pen, right? Because as you are going to exam, it is better to have a spare pen, right?
Yes.
So ink getting exhausted during the exam while writing the exam is an exception. And your mother addressing it before you go to the exam, while you are at home itself, maybe at 8 a.m. So she is telling you to carry a spare pen. So this is handling during, handling before the exam time. So exam time can be treated as the actual runtime. So your mother addressing, baby carry a spare pen. So she is addressing it also. She is handling it. So she is giving you suggestion to carry a spare pen. Likewise, another example, so you need to carry the admit card for the exam. So admit card is mandatory. So admit card is the identity for a candidate writing the exam. So your mother would be reminding you of admit card. Baby, please carry your admit card. Suppose your admit card, if you forget, what happens then in the exam hall? Did you write the exam?
No.
So there are chances that there are some cases where you need to get a duplicate admit card from your principal.
Yeah.
So only then you are able to write the exam. So it means some problem is occurring during your exam time because of forgetting this pen, a spare pen, or forgetting the admit card. So over there, forgetting admit card or forgetting spare pen are compile time exceptions. So your mother is going to cross check them before you go to the exam. In other case, you are writing the exam, so all of a sudden the earthquake occurred and your building, whatever the things are present in at your premises are collapsed. So these things, earthquake occurring all of a sudden, cannot be handled, right?
Yes.
So earthquake occurring during the time can be treated as runtime exception.
Okay.
So that is the major difference between compile time exception and runtime exception. Compile time exceptions are forced by the JVM to handle, whereas runtime exceptions we cannot handle.
Yeah.
Fine. That's about exceptions. Then let me take you to collections. So these collections. So collections are treated as framework. So we say collection framework it is. So what framework is? So framework is a semi-built application. So where the things are already built and we need to use them so that our application development becomes easy because it is already built, semi-built. So we have algorithms here. So algorithms that would make our work easy. So easy to use and faster in performance, and these collections are holding objects in it. So like arrays arrays are also can be treated as collections. So these collections are dynamic. So that is, they can grow or shrink automatically. So the thing is, with an array is static in nature, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the size with the array is fixed. For example, an integer array. So integer array may be having 5 elements in it. So how much memory does it occupy?
5.
5.
How much
memory does it occupy? It is an integer array.
Oh, times 5.
Yes. How much memory does it occupy? No idea?
I'm thinking about it. Just a second.
Just think and answer me.
20 bytes.
20 bytes, absolutely.
Yeah.
Right. Yes, because integer holds 4 bytes of memory. So 5 integers you can put 5 into 4, 20 bytes. So suppose if I put only 2 elements in it, assume 8, 10. Still how much memory does it occupy?
20
bytes, right? Because it is static.
Yeah.
And even though you put only 2 elements, 20 bytes of memory is blocked for that array.
Yeah.
So whereas with the collections, it is dynamic in nature. If you mention a size 10 and put only 2 elements in it, the rest of the 8 elements memory would be utilized by some other things. So they can automatically grow as well as automatically shrink. So they are dynamic in nature.
Yeah.
Right.
Right.
So here in collections, majorly we have 3 interfaces. They are list, set, map, right?
Yeah.
Yes. Can you give their descendants? So list, set, map.
I mean the list. The list can, first list and then they can be set, then mapped.
Is there a relationship between list, set, map?
No.
Then you said
you can use. I mean, when you have a list, you can set. You can use set to use this list, and then map to map the content of the list.
Right.
Inside
right.
the list.
Yes, I agree. So let me write here. So list has. So list is an interface. So list has descendants. They are. So array list. Array list. Right? Array list. Likewise, we have vector. Right?
Right.
So array list vector and set. Set has descendants. They are hash set. Right?
Yeah.
Preset. Right?
Yeah.
So we will be working with array list. So here array list, vector or descendants of list, and hash set, tree set. Of course, there are few more components. I am highlighting these things.
Okay.
So are descendants of set. So the thing is, when we talk about collections, you need to be particular about the collection's features, what type of data it holds, so what it is actually. So these things you need to be aware. And when we get to map, so map we have hash map. So hash map. So hash map, tree map, and so on we have. So the thing is here. So let me write the features here. So we will be exploring list. So list. The thing is list is an ordered collection, and it can hold duplicate elements. So the thing is, what this ordered collection is. So list is a container, assume. So in this container, you are going to put elements. So you are going to put elements like 9, followed by 7, followed by 5, followed by 4, 3, 2. So these are the elements you are putting in the list type of collection. So list can preserve. The first entry in the list is 9. Second entry is 7. Third entry is 5. Fourth entry is 4. Then fifth entry is 3. Sixth entry is 2. Do you follow? So it preserves the insertion order. So that is what. It preserves the insertion order. Okay?
Okay.
So that is why we call it as ordered collection. Second, it can allow duplicate elements. I mean to say I can put another 7 over there. It agrees.
Yeah.
Okay.
So here array list and vector. So many of the times you may see a question asking about the differences between array list and vector. So array list and vector similarities is they are from list, one thing. Vector is a legacy class, so which was seen with the older versions of Java, maybe 1, 2 versions. So array list is the modern one. Second is vector is synchronized. Array list is not synchronized.
Okay.
We have discussed synchronization concept.
Yes, maybe.
So when some component is synchronized, then the performance with that component is slower or higher, faster.
Is slow.
Right. So with vector, the performance would be low compared to array list. So array list gives high performance. Right?
Yes.
You're right.
So those are the things you need to highlight when you get a question to difference between array list and vector.
Okay.
So let me write one sample using this array list. So here I am creating a class. Array list demo. Main method. Finish. Yes. So in array list there are methods, n number of methods to add element into an array, to remove an element, to clear all the elements that are present in the array list. And you can check whether so and so element is present or not, contains a method. It will return a Boolean value. If we have, it returns true, else it returns false. So likewise we have set method. Set method would replace. So all these are methods present in array list. So you can browse through that array list API. I'm creating a simple list and put some elements into it. Okay?
Okay. Okay.
And display the elements. So this is my intention. So I create a list. Generally we create list with a polymorphic reference. List equals to new array list. So you need to import them. So all these collections are present in java.util package. So control space. So from java.util package and array list also. So here you can see when I try to import this, it is by default giving Angular basis and E.
Oh.
This is a generic type parameter. Are you aware of that E upper in case?
No.
Generics we call it as. Never seen that?
No.
I used to see that, but I didn't know what it was.
Okay. You used to see that, and immediately when you see, you just use your delete key, right?
Okay.
Yes. I am also using delete key now to remove that Angular basis E, and I'll address that once we are done with this collections. Along with collections, I'll address that. So array list. So onto this list, observe there, I am going to add list.add. So I am going to add some number. So list.add maybe 4. List.add 6. So list.add 9. List.add 10. So I added elements over there. Now I'm going to display the elements. System.out.println, the list contents are. I'm executing this. So we can print a collection directly in SOP statement, system.out.println. When you do that, the contents of the collection would be printed inside rectangular basis.
Okay.
So we can print, we can navigate across that collection and get the elements one by one and display it also. I will show you those types of navigation. We have for loop, for each loop. Have you seen this for each loop?
Yes.
Yeah.
Right. Then iterator, we have iterator.
Yes. Iterator.
Yes.
Right. So I'll show you using those 3 things also.
Okay.
For now, I just created a list, put some elements into it, and display. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Now let me write an example. So I'm going to write a class here. Class array list example. In this class,
Sir, just one question. I was asking if this element will be considered as integer, or are they just element and non-element?
Yes. The thing is, whenever you put some contents into the collection, I have mentioned here, collections hold objects. They always hold objects. Always. Now you tell me, are they just values or objects? Answer your query. Answer yourself now. This 1, 4, 6, 9, 10, are they just values or are they objects now?
Objects.
What type of objects particularly?
Integer? No.
Right. Integers.
Yeah.
There is no other answer. Integers. Okay?
Okay.
Right.
Thank you.
Welcome. I have written a class here. So my intention is to create an object of this class. So I am creating an object of this class. Array list example. Example 1 equals to new
Array list example.
Yes. On this example 1, I am going to invoke a method get country list. Okay. To this country list, I am passing some arguments. So the thing is, maybe some country names I am passing. Okay. India. So New York, Nepal, Pakistan. Okay. How many arguments I have passed? 5. And what type of arguments are they? String type of arguments, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Hello.
Hey. Maybe his network.
Yeah.
Maybe his network. Wait.
Yes. There was a network disturbance. Are you able to hear me?
Now I can hear you.
Yes. Are you able to follow this method? What I am doing with? I have created a reference variable example1 for the above class, and on that example1 ex1, I am invoking a method get country list, and I am passing all these 5 countries, and I am going to hold those 5 countries in this.
Countries.
Which means in get country list, I am going to create a collection list, add these 5 countries into that, and return that list, and I am holding that list here. Okay, got it?
Got it.
Now, actually, there is no such a get country list method in my class. So, ID is showing an error. Create a method. So, it is showing, do you want me to create such a method in array list example class, array list X class, right?
Yeah.
Yes, I want to. I have done that. And you can see, ID has generated this piece of code for me. Okay?
Okay.
String 2, string 3, string 4, and string 5. 5 arguments. And return null it is. So, I am going to create a list here. List countries equals to new. And onto these countries, dot add those strings one by one. Got it?
Got it.
String 2. Three. Control space. There is spelling mistake. String 4. String 5. Done. Okay. And finally, I am returning these countries list. Return. Yes.
Countries.
Got it?
Yes.
Got it.
Now, I have this countries list. Now I am going to display this country list. System.out.println. Countries. Execute it. Got?
Yes.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
Yes. I am going to navigate using a simple for loop.
All
So list is an index-based collection like array.
For
It means
right.
index int I equals to 0, then I less than listed of size, right?
Yes.
yeah.
I plus plus, right?
Yes.
So now from this list dot there is a get method. Get and pass the index. Pass the index. So this will return. What does it return?
Return.
They are country name site. They are country name site strings, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So get of 0 will return a country name string. Country.
Countries. Yeah.
And here you can see it's throwing an error. Observe. Read the error. Type mismatch. Cannot convert from object to string.
Yeah.
Look at the get method syntax. So get method syntax is, so it is returning object over there, object object, right? You can see return type.
Yeah. Yeah.
But actually it is a string present in the collection, right? You need to typecast it to string. Got it?
Okay.
Because the collection support object objects. And you can see get method syntax, you can see it is returning object here.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
But actually the strings are present in it, so I need to downcast to string.
Yeah.
And I am displaying that.
Okay.
Country.
Right? Got it?
Got it.
Yes.
Execute this. Something went wrong. Classcastexception. An exception occurred while getting the Java doc. See log for details. Yes. Java.lang. Okay. I'm using list here.
Yeah.
Actually, I need to use countries actually. Countries. Return type is countries, right?
Yes.
I mean this that country list is in this.
Yeah.
This collection, right? This collection. By mistake, I have put this list. I mean, which has numerics.
Also,
the thing is, yes,
inside the for loop.
Inside a for loop. Yes. That is why it has throwing. Observe the exception over there. So what exception it is? Classcastexception. And it is runtime exception or compile time exception?
It is a compile time.
It is.
Exception.
Tell me now what exception it is? Compile time or runtime?
Compile.
I have highlighted and I have mentioned it under runtime exception. Still you are saying that it is compile time.
Yeah, I mean, it was because we were able to correct it, we could to handle it, so maybe that's why I was thinking it.
Yes.
We didn't handle it. Yeah.
We did not handle it, and also the thing is, this is the method that is leading to exception, right?
Yes.
when I put this statement, are there any errors here in the program? Nothing.
No, nothing.
No.
It means my program is compiled successfully, right?
Mm.
Yeah.
When execution, it is throwing the exception.
Okay.
When execution, here I put list, get of I said, and it is returning number over there, integer particularly. But I mentioned string here, incompatible, right? Integer and string are incompatible.
Mm.
Yeah. Yeah,
That is
they
why
are
it is throwing
incompatible.
classcastexception.
Okay.
Generally, while downcasting, you will see this classcastexception.
Mm.
When they are, I mean to say, get the return type and whatever you are going to typecast, if they are not compatible, then you see classcastexception. Okay?
Okay.
Very important for interviews. Sometimes they may ask you what is classcastexception. Okay?
Okay.
And these are country names. We are displaying using simple for loop.
For loop.
Got it?
Got
Yes.
I write the same using for each loop. So I say for each loop syntax. So in for each loop I have colon followed by the collection name. For us it is countries. I am navigating across these countries. Okay.
Yeah.
And my countries list is having strings in it, right? The items are strings, right?
Yeah.
So left side you will be putting. So here whatever the things are present in it. So the thing is actually here the countries is holding java.lang.objects. So I need to put object here and then go for okay. Now it's showing no error. The thing is by default the collections are holding java.lang.objects. So that is why it was showing error over there. I just changed it to object. Now I say I need to downcast it. String const3 equals to downcast.obj. Got it? And display that country. And I write a system.out.println here just to differentiate the output given by simple for loop and for each loop. Okay?
Excuse me.
Yes.
I have lost internet connection.
Oh. Are you able to view my screen?
I can see just the comment of the for each loop.
Then the problem is at your end. Here it is quite fine. Can you reset your connection or do something at your end?
Yeah, I'm reconnecting, but it's not coming yet. It is still reconnecting.
Reconnecting?
I'm reconnected, but I'm still like seeing the comments of the for each loop. Can I leave and come back again, like in few minutes? It is asking me to leave the training.
Maybe it's not there anymore.
It's not there.
It's not responding. Maybe you can do that. The time is not there.
Right.
And then, for each loop, are you able to hear me?
Yes.
The thing is, almost it is 7 here. I have to close my session. We will look into this for each loop maybe in the other session.
Okay.
Okay.
I'll email you these 2 samples which we have done.
All right.
Okay. Excuse me, Hamad.
Yes.
Are we meeting tomorrow?
No, tomorrow I'm not available. Maybe
Okay.
for another 6 days I'm not available. I'll let you know when would be the next session. Maybe Ramki would be giving you the date and time.
Mike said that if you may give us some, homework to do, and then we'll be doing that during the time you'll not be there. And then
right. You will get that soon.
Okay, thank you.
Well, and one question. Have you gone through those assignments which I have given to you? I asked you to browse through some programs.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Now, good then. I'll give you some more programs.
Okay.
They are into core Java, basically, and I am expecting you to work out on those programs.
Okay.
Sure.
Try to understand what is happening with those Java programs and understand the logic better. For the first time, you frame the answer, you frame the solution.
Yes.
If you are able to, you can refer to that solution then.
Yes.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you.
Yeah. All right.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Okay. Hello, Ramki.
Ahmad.
Chapandi.
Yeah, Pawan is there in the session now.
Okay.
I told you, like he is going to help the consultants.
Fine, very good. The thing is, for now, I'll share some programs with them. Maybe I'll be mailing you. And I just told them to go through those programs and work out. Maybe if they find difficulty, let Pawan help them.
Yeah, sure.
The thing is, collections is yet to be taught. So without the collections and JDBC, they cannot make an application. So right now, going for an application may not suit. So let's go with some programs for practice.
That's what Ahmad, we will discuss with Pawan now. Okay, you can think what are the topics covered, so that from now we will help them in writing a small programs in core Java. Okay. We will discuss now. I will put a conference call with you. Okay. Pawan, you are okay, right?
Do you mean on GoToMeeting or on mobile?
No, mobile. I will call you. I will call you now.
Then shall I disconnect this GoToMeeting now?
Yeah, please.
All right then.
Yeah, thank you.
Welcome.